Hey Bear, you know how sometimes you have a project or a task or dream and you're trying to do something but it just doesn't seem to work and it feels like the whole universe is against you? Well, I need to admit, I've been kinda living with this feeling for the last decade or so, and the more I think about it, the less hopeful I am. So, let me tell you how it all started. Ever since I was a kid, I had a dream.
I have a dream.
I dreamt about space, but not about being an astronaut and flying into space. No, 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 nothing like that. I had a more global dream, a grandiose one. I dreamt about humanity flying to other planets, settling there, colonizing them, then sending the spaceships to other planets, and then eventually to the stars. I'm pretty sure it started at my young age with me reading science fiction books about space traveling. Do you think Neznaica on the Moon is considered to be a sci fi book? Anyways, a lot of authors at the time were really excited about space traveling, and I think this happened because they got really inspired with this whole space race that was happening between the two superpowers, and then they inspired me in turn. And it really, really got me, this vision of humanity just flying and building stuff on other planets, and then, becoming an interstellar civilization. Honestly, how can one not dream about a space exploration? It's just spaceships flying through vast amounts of space and exploring unknowns. It's pretty much like the great age of exploration and piracy, except hopefully without the pirates. I guess there's always been some part of our population that wanted to go deeper into that dark forest, to cross that mountain range, or to swim into the unknown. But with every passing year, it feels like this dream is not getting any more real. I'm following the progress that we've been making, and honestly, it feels like we've hit some invisible technological barrier or wall, and we cannot just push through it. The ISS, the International Space Station, the pinnacle of the modern space technology, and that is essentially a glorified set of tin cans that can host maybe a dozen people tops, and honestly, it doesn't even travel in space, it just orbits the Earth. Nothing too exciting. And I swear, honestly, it just feels like the universe doesn't want us to reach the stars. I mean, the space dream may just stay a dream. And I'm not even talking about the fact that the space is so freaking damn vast that traveling anywhere will take years and years, and traveling anywhere further than the nearest stars is going to take us hundreds of years probably. And I'm not talking about the fact that the space radiation is likely to mess up any human that will travel for a prolonged period of time in space. And I'm not talking about the fact that we will need to carry all the food and all the resources with us, because it's unlikely that we will find a habitable planet in every system we're going to travel to. And let's not even think about how a small group of people enclosed in a very small space for a prolonged period of time are likely to either get mad or kill each other or both. No, no, no. Let's just focus on one simple thing: taking over the Earth and going into space. And I swear, it's so unfair. It's such a massive challenge. Gravity is a bitch. For instance, do you know how much fuel does it take to get a 1 kilo of useful payload into the orbit? Not into far space, just into the Earth orbit? It can vary depending on the technology and on the type of fuel and yada yada yada. But let's say on average, to get 1 kilogram of useful payload into space, you need 10,000 kilograms of fuel. So in order to get my 100 plus kilograms S into space, you'd need 1 million kilograms of fuel. You can hear that the proportion is kind of crazy, which means that every time we go into space, we spend tremendous amount of fuel just breaching the Earth gravity. And you cannot just build bigger ships to carry more payload, because bigger ships would have higher mass, which would need more fuel, and more fuel would weigh more, which means you need more fuel in order to carry more fuel into the space. So it's a massive problem. Oh, and by the way, the near-Earth orbit is contaminated with essentially space debris, which are flying with crazy speeds, and every hit can lead to disaster, which means it's getting harder and harder to fly into space with every passing year. Yay us! But no matter what are the challenges, I still want to believe. I want to believe that humanity will prevail, and we will overcome the challenges, and our ingenuity is gonna help us solve the problems. We will find a way to break the shackles of gravity and reach the stars. I want to believe. Do you believe?